Hello all. Very happy new year to everyone. So this is my first video for this year 2022. Wish you all the best for your success and keep learning for this year for more cloud native tools and reliability related systems using my channel Shan Cloud Ops. Thank you for watching my channel. And today we are going to discuss about Azure well-architected design best practices. Hope you know most of the vendors are completely moving into cloud with a lot of design patterns. They are migrating from existing on-premises environment into a cloud, different kind of cloud patterns they are just providing. Actually, normally in a general design pattern, they are having a rehosting as a one of the major platform and refactoring, repurchasing. So this is all the major terminologies. Most of the cloud vendors, they are moving into cloud, they are using it. Rehosting is simply means they are just moving the on-premises data center into cloud providers. Rehosting in the sense they are migrating their existing applications from the ISS model into PaaS model or SaaS model. So these and finally some of the new vendors are coming into the market. They are using the rehosting pattern, sorry, repurchasing patterns to design the environment completely freshly with a cloud providers. So, Azure is one of the major cloud providers with lot of solutions and lot of people are moving into Azure nowadays. In terms of Azure, the market growth is growing in a very heavy pattern and lot of people are migrating into Azure recently. So based on the Azure, they have decided to form a standard principles and what kind of architecture they want to maintain it to provide the better resolution or better proficiency to the end users. Microsoft defined it some of the standard pillars they are asking us to ensure it. So we are going to discuss that main topics today. So the first major, these are all the major five key pillars whenever we are migrating or purchasing a new system. This we need to always think on these five major pillars. First one is operational excellence, security, reliability, performance efficiency, and cost optimization. These are all the five key pillars Microsoft is suggesting us to go with a well-architected cloud framework. So we are going to discuss one by one about these topics with what are all the best practices we just want to follow among these five key pillars. The first one is when we are moving into this kind of things, Azure has already provided some key elements. We just want to ensure it when you do this one. The first one is when you are designing a new system, Azure is providing a standard checklist. I can provide all the checklist details in my description. Azure is providing a well-architected review. They have a set of review questions when you are forming a new system. You just want to go through it. Based on that, they are providing a counters how your system was designed. It. When you move it into Azure, they have an inbuilt solution or inbuilt service called Azure Advisor. This will completely monitor your systems and providing the very valuable suggestions for you. What kind of key improvements you just want to improve it. For example, the first one is when you are using the virtual machine, you are using the a very high utilization of the SKU. That SKU is not completely well utilized it. So during that time, it will analyze it and will provide the better solution. What kind of SKU you just want to go into the further. So that kind of key things they are providing it completely. Then documentation. Microsoft has a very good documentation for all kind of services that is providing each and every nook and corner of the documentations and each and how to step by step you can enable the services and how you can able to integrate it. All kind of key principles it is providing it. The next one is you want to tie up with some of the partners. They need to provide the service as well. That options are available. Reference architecture, based on the different experience from the different vendors, Microsoft created the reference architecture diagram and reference architecture page. You can refer it and do it. So these are all the key elements Microsoft is needs to be considered during the your design time. So these are all the major things we just want to consider it. First, we are going to discuss the major thing is called reliability. So what exactly the reliability? I am designing my application. I just want to ensure my application is how easily, how quickly come into from the failure mode into working condition. So that is a main reliability. We just want always needs to think when you are designing your application. So reliability is not a matter. We have a different kind of patterns, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. So for each and every services, how we just want to provide the reliability, how fast that we can meet it, the business requirements based on the RPO and RTO. So that are all the major things we are going to discuss. So when you go for a normal standard, so Microsoft is providing a different kind of uh, reliability system. So when you go for a single virtual machine, it's a ISS model, you can use how normally they will use the standard disk and everything. So when you go for a premium disk, how it is providing a better utilization and how we can come from the VM's failure. So that kind of things we can think in the normal single VM machines. When you go for within the data center failure. So actually we have lot of problem within the data center in the sense Microsoft is providing a data center. In that data center only your application or your servers will be resided in. So when doing these data centers, I think availability set is one of the major things. You know, we have a various data centers within the within the region. So within the region itself, Microsoft providing a different zones. So zones in the sense different set data centers. For example, one data center is completely down due to some power failure or any of the things in the sense availability zone is the best option. Within the data center, within the rack itself, you have any problems, major problem in the sense, we have a better solution called availability Z. So it will help you to do the fault domain. One rack is having a problem, we can switch over to the another rack. So these are all the major data center level things like availability set and availability zone. We have a major outage, the complete region, how we can recover it in the sense, we have another option called Azure Site Recovery and Region Paths. I have a two major regions, simple example, East US and Central US. East US is completely down in the sense I can able to go to the Central US using the site recovery. We have a different kind of site recovery methodology like active environment. You can always run your virtual machines in both regions. Next one is active passive mode. So active passive mode, simply you are setting up your virtual machine in the primary region and secondary region in a dormant mode. You are setting up all the virtual networks, everything in ready place. Finally, in case of any recovery, in case of any disaster happening, you can switch over to into secondary. So that feature is available in site recovery. It will be always same. So these are all the major reliabilities which in ISS methods Microsoft is providing. This is not only a case. We have a lot of methodologies for the PaaS-based system like Azure Kubernetes Service, Azure App Services. So they have a better resiliency features. We can able to do their traffic managers, and Azure Front Door is a very good feature. You can able to globally route your traffic from the one region to another region. So these are all the major advanced feature which Microsoft is providing to meet your reliability requirements. Please ensure your reliability is one of the major concerns when you are designing your Azure. The next, always people are thinking about security. Security is a key feature, key need when you are designing any application, protecting your application, protecting your data, so protecting your complete pipeline. So everything you just want to make sure that security is one of the key factor you want to always consider it. When you are designing a cloud solution, these are all the main key things you just want to ensure it. The first one is identity and access management. So when you are designing your subscription and everything, definitely that will be tied up with your tenant. So tenant should have Active Directory level. We just want to make sure that all kind of role-based access, everything needs to be completely designed. Threat production. So we have an inbuilt threat production called Azure Defender. So that is one of the reason Microsoft naming. Initially, it is called Azure Security Center. Now it is changed into Azure Defender. It will ensure that all your Azure resources are completely threat production from various kind of attacks like DDoS attacks and denial of attacks and SQL injections. So that kind of major attacks you want to protect in this. So you can go for a threat protection. Then cloud security. So cloud security is inbuilt. We have a cloud security models, or otherwise, if you want to go with a multi-cloud environment, there is a vendor-based product like Cloud Prisma. So Cloud Prisma is another major product. You can ensure that your cloud security is completely in place. Information protection. So how you are protecting your informations, the data and everything, that using the design patterns or how you are designing the NST, everything you can able to do it. The risk management is for the another kind of risk related, compliance related issues. You just want to completely ensure it. This is kind of a major thing. When you are designing your applications, you can able to implement the security. So security can be implemented using DevSecOps pipeline. So DevSecOps pipelines is another key thing. Apart from that, you need to consider when you're developing your application, you can design your application using a threat modeling. So threat modeling is one of the major facility. You can able to model your design of your environment resources. It will highlight your completely. Protect your IDEs like Eclipse or Visual Studio .NET. So you can just install the Sonar plugin and everything. Commit hooks, and these are the key considerations when you are developing application, design application, deploying application, and during the operationizing, during the productionizing, what kind of things you just want to do it. So monitoring is one of the major threat to avoid the major vulnerabilities and everything. The major third optimization stuff is cost optimization. Cost is a major factor. The people are moving from capex model into apex model to saving the cost. So that is one of the things. So still, when you are moving into apex model as well, you can how you can well organize your cost things. For example, virtual machine level, you can purchase the more reserved instance RI. We call as RI. Apart from that, you have a Azure hybrid benefit, and you have a auto shutdown during the unutilized hours. So these are all the key cost optimization techniques. When you are moving into cloud, you just want to always consider cost is a very, very, very important. Most of the people are moving into Azure because of that reason only. So we just want to always think about cost is a very major criteria and major concern when you are designing it. So these are all the different stages of the application life over when you are designing it, provision, monitor, and optimize it. You just want to always consider cost wherever it is possible. We can reduce the cost completely. So these are all the major things. So some of the key best practices we just want to avoid is increase the cost awareness. So when you are designing application, you can build the inbuilt system, alerting, budgeting, and tagging related stuff to awareness of the particular team. So they need to notify it. Your cost is going up. You just want to care about this. Eliminate the cloud waste. As I said earlier, shut down the unused virtual machines. You have a production VMs, you can't able to do it. But non-production, we have a lot of, we don't want to do it in a 24/7. So during that time, you can just shut down your VM during the unutilized servers, and you have a right resourcing that you can get the help from Azure Advisor. Azure Advisor will provide a detailed explanation what kind of utilization your virtual machine has and how you can just reduce it based on your capacity. It will providing it. Then auto scaling and shutdown. Shutdown we discussed it. Auto scaling is one key things when you go for a path-based like Azure Kubernetes service, Azure App Services. You just always need to think on the auto scaling. And some of the key advantages Microsoft providing is hybrid benefit. You have enterprise customer, you have a own Microsoft license, in the sense you don't want to pay the extra money to the Azure again when you are provisioning the virtual machine. During that time, you can definitely can go and use the hybrid benefit. A reservation. You can purchase the reservations of virtual machine sizes for 1 year or 3 years. You can get it the best benefit. And if you are an enterprise customer, you will get it more benefits. Then modernizing architecture. This is a key implementation area when you are moving into applications from the data center. You can directly move it into ISS model or PaaS model. When you move it into PaaS or SaaS model, definitely your cost will completely down, but you need to design your application accordingly. That is a key consideration you just want to do it. Then the fourth major key topic is operation. So operational excellence. I have done all my non-production testing. Finally, I moved my application or product into production. How I'm going to provide my best effort, best team to provide the operational excellence. So when you are going into operational excellence, you need to the majorly it was how your application going to be run in your production, how it is reliable, and how you are providing a best class deployment methodology without a manual interaction, how you are providing a best class deployment strategies using a DevSecOps pipeline. So that key consideration you just want to always think on when you are moving into productionizing the system. So best practices in the sense application design. So when you are designing your application, it will be completely having a complete logging features and inbuilt monitoring solution. We have a lot of monitoring capabilities like Azure Monitor, Azure Monitors, and App Insights. Azure Monitor is providing a better performance of the system, reliability, everything you can able to ensure it using Azure Monitor. So you can able to set it up your dashboards, and you can integrate it within your enterprise product like Splunk for container related world. Prometheus and Grafana is another major giants of the container monitoring tool. So you can able to integrate it. And application performance management. So you just want to set it up the proper alerting methodology. When my CPU is going beyond the 90%, I just want to set it up the monitoring. My operational teams needs to get intimated. So that kind of a well-defined architecture you need to go to. Code deployment. Code deployment is most of the people's, the DevSecOps, I don't want to tell it because most of the industries are completely moving into DevSecOps pipelines and implementing their strategies. So then infrastructure provisioning. The provisioning part is another major thing. So we have a lot of major techniques like Terraform and Ansible is one of the familiar products most of the industry people start using for the infrastructure provisioning and testing. So this testing you can able to integrate it with some automated testing tools or performance testing tools like Selenium or Cucumber, everything you can able to integrate it. These are some key considerations when you are designing your application, you need to consider it. The final one is a performance. That is a major key factor when you are deploying any application, how you are meet your customer needs and efficiency, how you are providing auto scaling. For example, we have a virtual machine scale sets. That's a best example option. So I am having a 2 virtual machine currently running my workload. When the New Year, Black Friday, during that time, my workload is increasing based on the performance of the system or CPU utilization, how automatically scaling my applications using an ISS model and PaaS model. So that is the key things you just want to do it. Scaling is the best practices. You just want to always consider it when you are implementing it. Auto scaling. So is one of the key things. Background jobs. For example, I don't want to, when designing my application, I don't want to keep everything in my front end. Some of the a long running process, I can able to do it using the background job. So as you background job setup, we have a lot of options using the Azure web jobs. You can able to utilize it and do it. Caching is your another important area. You just want to think it. Caching is kind of a a demand things, like when you are repeatedly accessing your data, you can maintain it in the different way of maintaining, using within the application level. You can maintain the cache and whatever the frequency of data using them, maintain it in a cache, and instead of getting from the database or any of your backend sources, you can just maintain it in the cache system, and you can utilize the methodology. Then content delivery network. So a lot of content delivery network has in market, like SharePoint, and like Azure as well, providing us Azure content delivery network. So like a document accessing, it will provide the better performance. So when you are accessing from client directly into the origin place, it is taking the 120 milliseconds. In the sense, when you are using the content delivery network, it will provide only a 40 milliseconds. It's a huge performance improvement. You can't feel it, it's kind of a small, but when you are going for a large customer, it will be a very major things. So this is a major thing. Data partitioning. So wherever it is possible in your database, SQL Server or MongoDB, NoSQL databases, you can just make sure that partitioning your data, instead of putting everything in a one database, you can just partitioning based on your region needs, or based on your application needs. You can just partitioning your data. So these are the major key things when you want to design it, your application, you need to consider it. So I will place it some of the Microsoft documentation to refer it for this one. Feel free to reach me always about the Azure related architect design. Thank you for watching my channel. Please subscribe Sean Cloud Ops. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.